Back to Miss Grandma. Oh my god. It is so cold. I don't know why I live in Canada. Like, you know that scene where Peter Parker is in a school bus and then all his little hairs came up? Yeah, that's me right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sophie and I am a designer, investor, entrepreneur, and investor at heart. Today we're going to be talking about average net worth and how much you should be saving by every age group. Before we jump into the numbers by age, let's go over why median is a better way to measure this stat than mean. So let me take you back to grade 6 math, okay? But we're gonna dropkick mode. I'm gonna yeet that out of here. To calculate the median, we take the person with the highest net worth and the person with the lowest net worth, and we plot everybody in between in order, and then we take the exact number right in the middle, and that is the median net worth. The mean, on the other hand, adds up the total net worth of everybody, and then you divide it by the total number of people. And the reason why mean isn't the best way to measure this is because all the people with the astronomically high net worths can skew this number by a lot. So let me give you an example, okay? Say there are 5 people. 4 of them have a net worth of $1, just $1. And then the last person has a net worth of $10. So you would think, okay, obviously the average is $1, right? But no, if you were to calculate it by mean, then the average is $6, which doesn't make much sense. So this is why we want to use the median. Also, we need to start off 2022 with some encouraging words, okay? It is never too late to start growing your net worth. If you were to just start saving $200 every month for the next 30 years with an average stock market return of 7% adjusted after inflation, then you'd make $234,000. But then say you delay that, okay? Say you delay saving because you've got some nice cars and chains to buy, all right? By just cutting out 5 years of saving, you'd be cutting your savings down to $132,000. Gee, thanks Sophie for telling me that I lost out on so many gains from not saving earlier. How's that gonna make me feel better? Great question, and my great answer is, it's all about the mentality. Instead of having FOMO on what you could have gained, like wishing you got into Tesla stock before it split, think about how you could have subscribed and smashed that like button instead. Just kidding. But instead of having FOMO, think about how much more you're gonna have saved by starting now compared to starting next year. It's all about the mentality. This should instead encourage you to start learning about investing strategies and how you could start right now. Remember, there's no use in crying about the past. Instead, put all that energy into what you actually have control over, your future. I cannot repeat myself enough, but I still will for you, okay? It's all about the mentality. That was a mouthful, but honestly, it's worth it if this encourages even one of you guys watching this. Woo! A quick reminder that to get your net worth, you just add up all your assets, like your house, your cash, and your investments, and you subtract all your liabilities, like your mortgage, your credit card debt, or your student loans. So the median net worth of all Canadians in the most recent surveys is $330,000. Excuse me? Remember that this includes all older Canadians as well, so they've had more time to acquire a higher portfolio. In fact, if you have a net worth of 0, you're actually wealthier than 8% of Canadians. More in fact, if you had a net worth of negative $26,000, you'd still be wealthier than 6% of Canadians. So let's start with your 20s. I hate that Canada doesn't report on more specific age ranges. So what I can tell you right now is that the median net worth of Canadians under 35 is $48,000. I hate that this stat puts everyone under 35 in one group, so let me break it down for you. In your 20s, you're more likely to have negative $20,000. So if you have a net worth of $0, then you're already doing better than 50% of Canadians your age, just because most of them have student loans. So if you already managed to pay that off, then you're already way ahead. I would say that if you had 10% of your salary saved in your 20s, then you're already on your way. And I think all of you guys in your 20s should aim to have 2 months of expenses saved up. So in case mom and dad can't sponsor you, at least you can resort to your own savings. You want to aim high, you say? To put things into perspective, if you have more than $418,000, then you're in the top 1% of 25-year-olds. But in your 20s, I think the better goal is to perfect your skill set, learn more about investing, and get a good credit score, which would set you up to better financial habits in the future. I'll make a video very soon to cover the steps you should take if you're just starting out. Remember that the hardest part is starting. As soon as you dip your toes into the market, chances are you'll keep going. And a great way to start is to sign up to Wealthsimple Trade. You can use my link in the description. You will get 2 free stocks up to $4,500. And you can monitor how these stocks go and then take it from there. When you hit your 30s, you want at least 1 times your salary saved up. So say you have the median salary of Canadians from age 25 to 34, which is $47,000, then you'd want to have $47,000 saved up. You should also aim to have a credit score of 750 or above. And this is going to set you up better later for buying a home, since the higher your credit score, the higher your mortgage loan can be. You should also not have any bad debt at this point, and that includes anything with a higher interest rate than 5%, like credit card debt. You should not be accumulating anything on there that you can't afford to pay off within the next month. And to all you credit card haters out there, no, credit cards are not bad. Credit cards help you with achieving that 750 plus credit score. As long as you're not living above your means and using a credit card as extra money, then you're okay. And you should easily be able to accumulate 750 after a year or 2. Speaking of debt though, 5% of people aged 35 have outstanding student loans. So that means that 95% of them have already paid them off. So hopefully at this point, you have to. So if you have student debt and the interest rate of that is 1.2%, whereas your credit card debt is at 5%, then you wanna pay off the credit cards first, okay? Leave the student loans for later. Knock off the ones with a higher interest rate and then go from there. And of course, because you wanna know what the median net worth is, from age 35 to 44 is $234,000. You should also aim to have a saving system set in place for yourself by this age. For example, the 50-30-20 rule I talked about in my last video, where you save 20% of your income. It's all about establishing good financial habits early. And if you want to aim high to make it to the top 1% of 35-year-olds, you need a net worth of $1.67 million. Okay, on to your 40s. You should have 5 to 7 times of your spendings saved. And I know I've been using salary as a measurement so far, but I think at this stage in life, what matters more is how much you save relative to how much you spend, not how much you make. That cool kid from high school could be making $100,000 a year, but maybe she's spending $80,000 on high heels. Whereas you, my friend, only make the median salary of 35 to 44-year-olds at $60,000, but you spend only $30,000. Then you'd be saving more money than her. So who's the real cool kid now? Now the median net worth of 45 to 54-year-old Canadians is $521,000. In your 40s, you really want to make sure you've considered your retirement plan. A lot of Canadians actually couldn't retire because they wouldn't be able to sustain themselves with the amount that they've saved. You don't want to be that. So spend time thinking about how much you want to spend per year after you retire. You'd want your assets to be able to generate enough to sustain your retirement spendings. So you should be maxing out your RSP and TFSA every year by this point. You'd also have to consider unexpected expenses, like helping out your parents since they're most likely retiring at this point, or helping your children out with their college funds. Because you're wholesome AF, okay, and you want to help save for your children's college fund because you weren't able to get that support. Psych! They can work in McDonald's and make fries and chicken nuggets so they can save for their own college fund. Anyway, let's do some quick maths for your retirement plan. So say you're 40 with a salary of $80,000 and you already have 3 times of your salary saved up, which gives you $240K. Assuming you just save 20% of your income every year with 7% return, adjusted for inflation, you'd have about $2.3 million to retire with at 65. And this should be enough for you to spend $40,000 every year after you retire. Now obviously, if you want to live a little bit more lavish lifestyle and spend more than $40,000 a year, then obviously you're going to need to save a little bit more than $2.3 million. The top 1% of 45-year-olds, you ready for this? A whopping $3.76 million net worth. But you know what? I believe in you, okay? If there's a will, there's a way. In last week's video, I went over some side hustles and the 9 sources of income rule. So if you want to make some extra cash to make it to the top 1% faster, then go check that out. Moving on to the age of 50. Aim to have 7 times your salary saved by this point. The median net worth of 55 to 64-year-old Canadians is $690,000. In your 50s, man, you want to chill, okay? So you don't want to worry about debt no more. So aim to have 0 debt and have your mortgages all paid off so you have no overhead. And don't just put everything into Shiba and Dogecoin, okay? At this point, you don't have the risk tolerance anymore to do that. I mean, unless you really want to, then you be living life on the edge. But if you were to ask me, your portfolio should be as diversified as, oh, Canada, your home and native land, okay. So have some stocks, real estate, crypto even, invest in some small businesses, or invest in some Pokemon cards or Birkins. And the top 1% at age 55 is $6.69 million. How's that for a goal? And finally, in your 60s, you should have 10 to 12 times of your salary saved up. The median net worth of Canadian 65-year-old and up is $543,000. I think as long as you've got the amount that you need to live comfortably, what else could you ask for? You could knock off a bunch of bucket list items, like go skydiving, or visit Elon Musk on the moon, drive in the next gen space Tesla. Or if you still want to reach that top 1% net worth of 65-year-old Canadians at $10 million, then respect, Miss Grandma. Or if you're still a workaholic, go explore your passion. Open a bakery. Maybe that's just what the world needs. Your macarons will pop off. Hey, a great story to end the video. Once upon a time, someone dropped out of school, kept getting fired from his jobs, ruined his law career, tried starting up 2 businesses that both crashed and burned. But finally, at age 40, he started cooking and selling fried chicken. Then he sold the company back then for $2 million, which is worth $15.3 billion today. This company is KFC, and that person is who else other than Colonel Sanders. Moral of the story, don't give up, and it's never too late to keep trying and start something new. You got this. So, where do you stand? Are you ahead of the average Canadian? Have you been reaching these goals? Let me know down in the comments below. And smash that like button because it's free. And as a reward, here's a picture of a really cute Pomeranian because I love you, you're amazing, stay poppin'. See you in next week's video.
I made it through everything I never thought I would. Hell and back, now I'm here and it just feels so good. We're alive, we can breathe, now let's break some rules.